Hello, my name is Renae Manos. Welcome to this hotel review. I've been a global luxury hotel reviewer for over 2 decades. My passion for the five-star hotel industry stems from its dynamic nature, much like the world of theatre, with its blend of front-of-house elegance and behind-the-scenes precision. For most of our reviews, we're invited for a 3-night stay, but importantly, hotels or their public relations teams have no input in shaping our reviews. And like you, only see a review once it's published. We highly value your feedback on our reviews and encourage you to share your thoughts below the review. I'm here today to do a review of Capella Bangkok, which has been labelled as the best hotel in the world. I'm not all that surprised. I stayed there recently. It was certainly one of the best city stays I have ever had, and here's why. The Capella was only built in about 2019. It sits right on the Chao Phraya River, which is the River of Kings, which is a really bustling, busy river. Bangkok has about 11 or 12 million people, so it's a highly populated city, and the river is full of different boats at different times of the day. And one of the great things about staying at Capella is that you can catch the boat to nearby five-star hotels, to shopping malls, to restaurants. You don't have to get in a car once you get to Capella. The hotel is super modern, but somehow retains some classic Thai charm. So you don't feel like you're in one of those hotels that doesn't, integrate with the environment that it is in. It takes about 35-40 minutes to get from the airport to the hotel, but of course that is dependent on traffic. And in Bangkok and in all of Thailand, it can be absolutely full on and heavy traffic or not, depending on what time of the day your flight arrives. But rest assured, when you arrive at this hotel, one of the most unique features is a room called the living room. It really is decor like a private home, and that is where you check in. So you're not standing in a typical five-star hotel desk at all. You're actually in a beautiful plush lounge chair. It's not far from the swimming pool. It's a very spacious room. You're offered a beautiful sweet drink, or in my case, champagne, which was just the best way to arrive, whilst my passport was bustled away and I was welcomed to the hotel and some things were explained to me. The living room becomes a place where you can escape during your stay and go for some soft drinks or to order a drink, and there are staff there to get that for you, but it's also where the Capella culturalists are. Now, that is a very unique feature of the Capella brand. I stayed in both Capella Ubud and Capella Singapore, as well as Capella Bangkok. The culturists offer intimate, unique, local experiences. Things like cooking lessons, market tours. When I was in Singapore, for example, I went on a moped around Singapore, which was amazing. I'm just mentioning that because even if I mention the experiences in Bangkok, they change so much. The staff, the Capella culturalists, are very switched on. I mean, whether it's an art exhibition, history, or whatever you are after, they can create it for you. And you can go into the living room, have a chat to them about what's on offer. But I know, because I've done it myself, that if you go in and ask for something that's not listed, they will do their best to find that for you. And that's just one of the highlights of this hotel. The rooms at Capella Bangkok are absolutely a highlight. I stayed in what is called a veranda suite, which is about 137 square meters of space. Now, that is pretty big. It has a really big veranda, which is really nice for outdoor space, which means you can go outside if you want, and some gorgeous chairs to sit on. One of the features I really liked were the electronic blinds. It means that at night you really do get that block out. And even in the day, sometimes, I'm the sort of person who gets up really early. And if I'm just running and doing too much exercise in the Bangkok heat, I might want that sleep in the afternoon, and those blinds can come down. The colouring is very neutral. Lots of natural kind of interiors, textures and colours. There's a fantastic little box next to the front door. So when you order something from room service, they can actually pop it in there so you don't have to see them. And that includes newspapers and things like that. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm in my robe, I'm lounging around, I maybe haven't got makeup on. I don't want to see the staff, but there's something that I want to order. Somebody has thought of that at Capella. Another thing they've thought of that's in the rooms is there's a beautiful brown leather bag, which I had, my handbag with me, but I chose to use that because it just felt so luxurious. And I could put some things in that and go and sit by the pool. Or even when I went shopping, I took it with me because it was nice and big and just felt really, really luxe. The bathrooms, they're out of this world. Huge, big baths where you can have a beautiful plunging long bath. There are double vanities, a his and her, which is fantastic, and tons of natural light. Now, any woman knows natural light it really is an essential to get your makeup and your look right and your fashion. And there's plenty of that. There's lots of mirrors. There's a huge walk-in robe with lots of storage, and in the suite, sorry, they are also divided very cleverly into a combined lounge, office, and bedroom with the expansive outdoor terrace. So you really feel like there's room in that 130 square meters for everything that a couple could possibly want. The king size bed is just so luxurious and lush, and it's flanked by a small sofa and a large desk, and of course, that all overlooks the river. So again, just that calming, very much an escape. Every time I came back to Capella after being out, I felt like I was coming home to a haven, a tranquil haven amongst the bustling city that is Bangkok. The dining experience at Capella Bangkok really is out of this world. The breakfast at all Capellas that I stayed at has been absolutely sensational, and Capella Bangkok is no exception. They have an amazing buffet breakfast, and the restaurant is called Phra Nakhon. I hope I pronounced that right. And the buffet's massive. There's an incredible selection of pastries, beautiful barista made coffees, excellent fresh fruit. There's even all these cheeses and meats. And then you get a separate a la carte menu. And what I love about Capella breakfast is the servings are small. Because I think, like most guests, I tend to overeat and overorder. But it's just nice to have all these little kind of tastes of different things. And there's things like eggs Benedict or eggs any way that you like. There's some Japanese features on there. There's a French toast on there. There's some Thai sort of meat and noodle dishes on there. There's really everything that you could possibly dream of. And you can sit inside the restaurant, which is beautifully decorated, sits right on the edge of the hotel on the river. Or you can sit outside. It was a bit warm, but I still braved it. And the service wasn't quite as good sitting outside, but it was well worth it because I just enjoyed the warmth of that morning warmth of Bangkok. It was just wonderful and just really sitting there. And I think I spent like an hour and a half having breakfast there just to really, stretch it out as long as I could. And like the hotel itself, everything, including the breakfast menu, is this seamless blend of beautiful Thai local dishes and then, Western modern dishes that, you find in the very best restaurants in the world. And I have to say that I truly believe that Capella breakfasts are the very best breakfast that you can have in any five-star hotel in the world. They also have a gorgeous bar called Stella. Now, anyone who knows me knows my daughter's called Stella, so I am a little bit biased, but all the drinks as well are named after women. It's really kind of nod of respect, I guess, to women and the part that they've played in Thailand and in Bangkok, which I loved. And another great thing about staying at Capella is they have something called a Chin Chin Hour. At Capella, I think it was 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., so just an hour, but there's free cocktails. There's a selection on offer, but you get to meet other guests staying in the hotel. And what was really surprising when I stayed there was that in the hotel, it was very tranquil experience. You don't never feel when you're at Capella Bangkok, there's all this staff and all these people. Even when I checked in the living room area or went down there to speak to a culturist, it's a very relaxed kind of environment. However, when I went to Stella Bar and Chin Chin Hour, there were people everywhere, including the general manager, John Blanco, who's fantastic and who I'm lucky enough to have done a podcast with. But I really enjoyed the fact that I could meet people, I could have some conversation. They served some small snacks. It was just a really, really great vibe. Then I went back to the restaurant that I went to for breakfast, to Phra Nakhon, to have dinner. Now, what they serve in this restaurant is typically Thai food. Now, I guess the impression and the reality, to be honest, is that you can get exceptional Thai food a few streets away from Capella at little restaurants, sort of the typical Thai restaurants, which of course some people want to do. But sitting there in that restaurant, I have to say everything was typically Thai. Not that many years ago, you might go to a hotel like this in Thailand and the typical Thai food would be westernized and not good. That is not the case at Capella Bangkok. The food is absolutely outstanding. I really enjoyed it. There was a great selection of wines, and what I really loved is a good selection of wines by the glass because I'm often traveling with friends who don't necessarily drink alcohol, and being able to order just one or two glasses of quality wine that I can really enjoy a meal with at a five-star hotel is a real bonus. And I also want to mention that the desserts were fantastic. Capella Bangkok does have a 3 Michelin star restaurant. I couldn't get in. Obviously, it's open to the public, as I believe are all the restaurants there. So it's definitely worth having a look. If it's got 3 stars, that means it must be out of this world. But I have to be honest, I didn't get there. Wellness and fitness is a really big part of my stay wherever I stay in the world. And I was so thrilled at Capella Bangkok at the Wellness Centre and the Fitness Centre. The standard was just, absolutely fantastic. And they weave in sustainability as well. So let me tell you about it. It's called Auriga Wellness. And that's the name of the Wellness Centre. And it embraces the natural rhythm of the lunar cycle with the bespoke treatments that nourish the body and the soul, depending on what's happening with the cycle. The spa is absolutely architecturally incredible. There's a group going around the world designing spas that are really quite exceptional. They have thermal spas, they have jets coming out of the wall, they have cold baths, they have ice baths, and it's all in sort of a cement encased room that is so calming. And the wonderful thing about this is that this is available for in-house guests complimentary. Of course, you can book spa treatments like, massages, facials, all of that, which are also absolutely exceptional. I mean, we all know that Thailand, Thai people are known for their beautiful sense of touch and their connection with the body and the soul when they give someone a massage or a facial. And they have all sorts of different ones on offer. But as I said, the wellness center itself, where you can really go and calm down at any time of the morning or the night, was something that I really enjoyed and I actually managed to use twice during my stay. The gym has got the techno gym equipment. Now, techno gym seems to also be sweeping the world and in every 5-star hotel. It's not my favorite because of that, because it's become so common. But of course, it's great. The gym is not overly massive, but for me, it was sufficient. There were certainly lots of weights. I know some of the guys, I think the heaviest weight when I was there was about 22 kilos, which is fine for my small frame. But if you're really into weightlifting, that's probably a bit light. The cardio equipment was excellent. There was a lovely member of staff from there who was happy to guide me and help me with some programming of some of the machines. And I just thought that whole wellness facility, and what I haven't mentioned is, of course, that the wellness center overlooks the garden. So you really get this indoor-outdoor experience. And I think when it comes to wellness, one of the most important parts of a wellness journey is our connection with nature. I mean, everyone talks about forest bathing, that's massive in Japan, going and sitting in nature as a wellness, exercise to reconnect your mind, body, and soul with where we came from effectively with nature. And they've really encapsulated this at Capella in the wellness center, the way that the greenery can just be seen outside. There's some huge, beautiful terracotta Thai style Asian pots, which I also loved. The whole feel, as I keep saying, is this real modern. I mean, when you look at the spa and the wellness facility and then the Thai sort of features that they have around, it really is well thought out and really cleverly done. Very, very elegant and very sophisticated. And My Thai boxing is also available. You can book that. And of course, that's a fantastic sort of Thai national sport and a really great way to get fit. I often book in for a class because it's good just to mix up my exercise routine and it really burns fat. And if you can do it outside in the heat, oh my goodness, that is a workout. In terms of sustainability, Capella Bangkok has a commitment to local artists and creators. And I loved that in the hotel there were so many spectacular pieces of art, whether they were textiles on the walls or paintings or sculptures. Everywhere you kind of look, there's some amazing art. Capella Bangkok has to be one of the most Instagrammable hotels in Thailand. I think the art plays a part in that because it's just such high quality and so interesting. And they really, have artists, with works that we haven't seen before. So in terms of if you're an Instagram fan, you will put them on your account and people will stop because they'll be like, oh, wow. But I also think, just getting back to the style of the hotel, that the light that is in there and just the colors that they've used, which are very neutral and very calming. And again, that very modern, sleek, elegant, luxurious feel. It really is a beautiful place to have photos taken of yourself because the light's very flattering. And then one of my favorite places was the staircase near Stella Bar. It's sort of glittery and glamorous and gold. I think, if someone was in a really gorgeous gown, a photo there on Instagram would be absolutely beautiful. I just say that because so many people ask me now and text me about, is this hotel Instagrammable? Where can I take great photos? So there's some insider tips. Capella's commitment to the environment is that the property places a strong emphasis on eco-conscious practices. Of course, this is a huge trend globally right now, but from the use of biodegradable amenities to sourcing ingredients from local farmers for their restaurants, and even featuring Thai, genuine, authentic Thai food in the restaurant, I feel is almost a nod to that sustainability and to the environment. Capella Bangkok environmental impact with reduced plastics. That's another one. They've actually eliminated single-use plastics and emphasize energy efficiency across the resort. And even the minibar stocked with complimentary non-alcoholic beverages. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about the rooms. It offers local snacks and local like Thai, beautiful little craft spirits, which you can buy in the room. And I think that is also, a joy. I don't really want to go to, a five-star hotel in Bangkok and, be offered sort of drinks that I can get anywhere in the world. Having something local that's a little bit different. I mean, I love Thai food. I love chili. I love lime. I love fish sauce. I love it all. So having any of the drinks that kind of reflects that local culture, I think is absolutely wonderful. But look, my stay at Capella Bangkok was exceptional. Blending luxury with, heartfelt service and thoughtful sustainability. I felt like nothing was too much trouble. I'm terrible to dine with because friends hate it because I often ask for tastes of different wine. Having lived in Asia where there's not much wine around, when you had lots of choices like you do at Capella Bangkok, I tend to want to try them all. And they're absolutely wonderful about that. They didn't sort of say no or act like that was, a problem. And I think the wine and alcohol education at Capella Bangkok is very high. In a lot of even very, high-end and expensive hotels and restaurants and bars, that's not always the case. It was really wonderful to see that was the case. But even as I mentioned in the Chin Chin happy hour, when I was asking about the cocktails and the ingredients in them, the staff knew. The staff knew what the alcohol was. They knew what was in it. They knew what else they could serve me that I could pay for if I wasn't happy with the complimentary cocktails on offer. That is for me in Asia, particularly, really taking that five-star experience a notch above. They're listening to the clientele, they're asking questions of the clientele, and then they're coming back solutions. And one of the great things is that if the staff don't have the solution to Capella, they go and find out. The swimming pool is beautiful, not overly massive. The only thing I would say about the swimming pool is that the villas, the way they've been built, do sort of block the view to the river. I mean, it wasn't a big deal for me. I'm not a massive pool person. And it's not overly massive if there are kids in there sort of splashing around. I mean, I've had kids. I love kids. But let's be honest, sometimes, particularly if you've just come from that beautiful spa and you want that tranquil experience, you don't want kids around, there really isn't, anywhere to get away from that. But of course, you've got your room. And if you had a beautiful room like I did, which overlooks the river and you've got that outdoor area, you can go and just chill up there. And it is really a hotel where you want to spend a lot of time in the room. And on that note, I think it's a fantastic hotel for couples. I mean, if someone's on their honeymoon or anniversary or just wanting to spend time with their partner, Capella Bangkok really is that hotel. Mainly, the rooms are just exquisite, and having a cocktail together, having dinner at the restaurant out the front. It's the kind of hotel that you can check into. And I think for at least 3 nights, you don't have to leave. If you book the spa, if you use the fitness facility, if you get into the 3-star Michelin restaurant, it really is lovely. And it's on the same sort of block as the Four Seasons. And you can get the Hotel Capella to book you into the restaurants at Four Seasons because, inside a secret, they are owned by the same person, even though they're operated, obviously, Four Seasons and Capella, completely different companies. The actual owner, who I think might be retired, but he owns both of them. They're both very new and both obviously very, very beautiful. The attention to detail at Capella Bangkok is everywhere. As I said, it is no surprise to me that it has won the best hotel in the world. I would stay there at the drop of a hat. I would have dinner there any night of the week. I absolutely love it. Contact me, put your questions below if there's something I've missed out. But, whatever you do, get to Capella Bangkok. Don't forget to subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for regular travel updates. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.